Yes, yes, yes. What is going on? You know what day it is. It's Tuesday, which means that Touchdown Detroit Lions is live over here on Syndicate Sports Detroit. I'm your host, Nick Harkson. Say what's up in the comments. Once you're in here, I already see a few going. Rick, good to see you. Hatter's House, woo! 1-0, baby. Let's go. Yes, I see what you mean. Big dubs from MSU Detroit fan. Great to see all you in here. This is a Victory Tuesday, the first of the year. Woo! Celebrate, celebrate. John Peterson, good to see you in here as well. Mary Peterson, good to see you in here. Also, yes, what a game. What a game. It was a thriller for sure. But we came away with the W, 26-20 in overtime over the Rams. Stafford came back, tried to do some old Stafford magic. It didn't work out this time because you're in our house. This isn't your house anymore. No Rams house. They were trying to play that up. No, this is the den. This is Detroit. We do our thing. And got that W. Got that W. MSU Detroit fan says Goff over Stafford. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Goff didn't have the greatest of games, but he did enough. And he does what he does. You know, he did have one turnover, almost had another. But, yeah, we'll get more into that later. It's Victory Tuesday. We're going to keep the positive vibes rolling for now until more people get in here. Then we'll talk a little bit more. But, yes, if you're new to the show, we celebrate all week long. We don't just have a Victory Monday. We have Victory Tuesdays. And today we're celebrating that Victory Tuesday, baby. And we're going to celebrate it all week until the next game, which is Sunday. But alrighty. Yeah, let's get into this. Let's go over the game a little bit. Actually, I'll say what Rick is saying before we get right in to all this stuff, but how do y'all like that pouty face from our former quarterback, Jared Goff? Yeah, Stafford in the post-game presser, I believe, was asked if he's over the Jared Goff chance and if Detroit is just another destination to come play to now, or if it still means something to him. And he said, yeah, he's over the chance, like a real short answer, and that Detroit Ford Field is just another stadium to play in. It doesn't mean anything to him anymore. So screw you, Stafford. You are 1-2 against the Lions since leaving. And the only time that you beat us was when we were in our first year struggling, had no roster, and we still came out hot and gave you a fight, a run for your money. And so, yeah, when it's mattered, though, we put you down, buddy. We put you down. And it could be his last game in Ford Field. I don't know. Maybe we'll see them in the playoffs. I don't know. But Stafford, we got your number, buddy. You might have got a Super Bowl, but ours are coming. And I say multiple ones, not just one. Multiple, baby. Okay. Okay. MSU. John Peterson says Lions a little rusty first game. Yes, they were, but they're going to get better. Dan Campbell has trust in this team. He says it was great to see how they played and still to come out with the win because they're only going to get better going from here. As long as they get a little bit better each game, they're going to be just fine. He said he didn't care if they won or lose in the post-game locker room speech. He was like, if we lost this game, I was going to give the same speech because we just got to get a little bit better each week, and he's right. All right, I see some comments. Let's get over here and let's talk the game before I just start chatting it up with you guys, even though that's what I love to do the most in this. But I got to cover a few things before we get too far into the comments. But I see you, and we're going to get into those points. But yeah, you know, I thought that the defense started off the game great. They really set the tone. Alex Anzalone laying that Thor hammer on the very first play. My goodness. Anzalone had a great game. I loved what he was doing. Flying around, had 4 tackles for loss. I believe that is his career high. So, love to see that out of him. He's a true captain, and he's coming into his own. He's another guy just like Goff. The very first year they were here, I was kind of like, what are we doing, man? But they They grew on me. They just needed some more time. They needed the right pieces. They can't make the team run on their own. But Anzalone, great game. Love that him, the captain of the defense, was out there making plays and right off the bat just setting that tone. Just setting that tone. He also got a game ball from Dan Campbell at the end of the game, which was well-deserved. And I like what he said. You know, he told the team, I kind of look at things in 4 quarters of the year. As long as we go 4-0, 3-1 each quarter, we're going to be just fine. And that's where he's at. We started off 1-0 this quarter. Let's finish strong. And just love the leadership from Alex Anzalone. But yeah, initially, I thought that we were going to be rolling on offense. We started off slow, went 3 and out with that first drive. And they started off with a run with Monty. I was initially a little upset that we didn't get, Gibbs the ball a lot at the beginning of the game. We gave him it once. He had a nice little 5-yard run almost for a first down, and he kind of brushed off at a defender. So I was like, get him the ball more. But Monty proved out to be the beast. Of course, we'll talk about him. But Gibbs did have a nice game. He had 74 all-purpose yards with a touchdown. Really, really fought for that touchdown, too. They didn't initially rule it a touchdown. They had to go and review. And, yes, he got in there fighting for every inch. And he also had a few really nice third-yard runs to get us the first down. And they were not glorifying runs, but they were just 2-yard runs, 3-yard runs to where he had to fight every inch. It looked like there was nothing available. He made a quick little move, found the tiniest hole, cut up, and got us those clutch first downs. You can go back and watch the tape, but they did mean a lot at some points of the game. So shout out to Gibbs on making those runs to extend the drives, and of course for fighting for that touchdown there early on. Now let's talk his partner in crime, the bruise to his rhythm. Yes, the bulldozer, the savior in overtime, David Montgomery. Huge for us, obviously. Didn't start off the game the hottest. Actually, I think he had around maybe it was 40-some yards, maybe not even that, before overtime. And then he just went off in OT and did his thing, got the touchdown. I think ran for 40 yards, over 40 yards. Ended up with 91 rushing yards and a touchdown. And the guy he hates overtime. Apparently he hates overtime is what he said. And it was proven. He went out there. He got the job done. He wasn't messing around. He got down to business and said, give me the ball. I'm going to get us out of here. I hate overtime, coach. I'm going to show you where the promised land is, and we're going to bully the Rams all the way down to the end zone, and that's exactly what he did. Montgomery, I love you for that last drive. Such a beast. The 1-2 punch between this running game is amazing. And like John Peterson pointed out, they were rusty. I think it's going to ramp up even more. But when it mattered, that offensive line and David Montgomery got down to business, showed him who was boss, and we just bulldozed them all the way to the end zone. You got to love it. That's our style of play. We're nasty. In the trenches is where it's won, and we got the job done in overtime. That's the way I wanted to win it. I wanted to bully him around. I thought maybe that we could have used Montgomery a lot more in the third and fourth quarter. Maybe we wouldn't have gotten or lost the lead. Maybe we wouldn't have gotten down. Maybe if we had that and we were able to bully them the whole second half like we did in overtime, it wouldn't have been as close of a game because we were up 17-3, let them come back, take the lead, and had to come back, put in overtime with, which I will say, even though it was a short field goal, a nice little clutch field goal there from Jake Bates. A lot of questions on him coming in. He did miss some short field goals in preseason. So way to deal with the pressure and nail that one. Even though it was shorter. We know he's money from long. But he's a little shaky from short yardage distance kicking. So I'm glad he got the job done. But yeah, it was interesting that second half. Thought that we could have used Monty a little bit more before overtime. But still, I was complaining that we weren't using Gibbs a lot at the beginning. I was complaining we weren't using Monty enough in the second half. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? It worked out no matter what. It worked out. But all right, we had some Goff talk here a little bit earlier. Goff had a decent game. He went 18 for 28 with a touchdown and an interception. Not a bad game. Could have been a lot worse. And the interception, I don't know if it was all on him. It did look like Amon-Ra did slip. And it looked like it was a second read, too. Or maybe he was trying to look off at a defender and then look back. And, yeah, he got caught. But like you said, they're rusty. Little miscommunication, little slip there. The turf was getting to some people. You saw Carlton Davis slip, and that gave up a touchdown there later in the game. People were slipping, but Dan Campbell said he's not worried about it. He says the turf didn't change. I did see a video of them watering it. Maybe they watered it a little bit too much extra this time. I know that they water the turf, but maybe they put a little bit too much water on it this time. I don't know. But guys were slipping out there. I'm not going to blame it all on Goff. He had a decent game. And I'll give him props for this too. They were trying to give him the game ball, like the NFL or NBC was trying to give him the player of the game at the end of the game. And Goff did a great gesture, giving it to the man who deserved it the most, and the guy who I'm going to talk about next, the breakout star, Big Jameson Williams. Waymo, baby. Waymo. Guy had a huge game. I mean, we all were calling it. I was calling it all off season. He was looking great in training camp. He put it on the field. He came out and he delivered. We were wondering how it was going to translate from practice, from training camp to real life scenario. I was never worried. Jameson Williams, way to step it up. I'm feeling much more confident moving forward with the way he's playing this season so far. There was a little bit of a scare with that. He got up after that end around and was hobbling. But I'm glad he toughed it out, got back in there. It didn't seem like it phased him all because he went out and got a big-time touchdown. Afterwards, fired up the crowd. Loved the celebration, the multiple celebrations. But yes, Jameson Williams with 134 all-purpose yards, 121 of them coming through the air. And, of course, that big-time touchdown. But did you see his post-game presser? I mean, he had that ball in his hand the whole time. He wasn't letting it go. He was cheesing, grinning from ear to ear. Got in there, said, "I never done this before." Just was cracking me up. You got to love the kid. I don't know how you can hate on Jameson Williams. He's just happy to be there, and he wants to win, and he wants success, and this was his biggest game of his career, but he says there's going to be better games moving forward, and I believe him. But Jameson Williams, you have to love to see that performance coming out of him. That's what we've been waiting for. He's a first-round pick, 12th overall a few years ago. And I think we're going to get this a lot more moving forward. I'm going to talk one more thing on the offense, then I'll get over to the chats over here. And then we'll talk about the defense. But Amon-Ra St. Brown, okay? Love the guy. He's a key piece to the offense, but he didn't do a lot. He wasn't targeted a lot. It's not his fault. He is going to get a lot more targets moving forward, I feel like. But maybe this came from Jameson Williams stepping it up. We have a ton of weapons. Sam Laporta didn't get a lot of targets either. He did make some nice catches, some clutch catches. One to where he got a helmet-to-helmet that put us in field goal range, which was a big-time play, holding on to that ball. No matter what, there was going to be the penalty, but he caught it. They added the yards on after the catch, but back to St. Brown. I'm sure he's frustrated, but he's a team player. They got the W. But I saw him open on multiple occasions, him and Khalif Raymond. If you go back and watch the tape, I don't think it's all on Amon-Ra and Leaf. Yes, there are probably shadowing Amon-Ra a lot more. He's our number one. The guy put up huge numbers last year. He's an all-pro. He's going to gain a lot more attention moving forward. But Dan Campbell says he's not worried about that. They'll find ways to get him the ball. But he was open a few times, more than a few times. Same with Khalif Raymond, and Goff just, for whatever reason, either didn't see him, chose not to pass to him. Maybe they were the second or third read, so he was going somewhere else already. But I saw him open a few times, and we just didn't get him the ball. I think that will change moving forward. I think they'll make it a priority here in the next few weeks to get him the ball because he is such a playmaker. You saw him, his first catch, just, whoa, get off me. Shoved the guy to the side, got some extra yards, and that's what he's good for. He's a yak king. He's like Golden Tate, but I would say better. I don't know. They're similar, but Amon-Ra will get more looks, more touches coming up. If you're an Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Fiend, or if you got him in fantasy football, don't worry. It's game 1. We still got the W, and this should be exciting for people that we don't need to use Amon-Ra as much to win games. Yeah, if we, maybe we score some more points, but Lions were rusty. It's game 1. These guys didn't see any action in the preseason. They, saw some joint practices, but we talked about it last week that I forget who it was, but they said that they were going to come out and it was going to be a little bit of a rust game. John Peterson pointed out that they were rusty, and I would completely agree with both comments that they just got to find their footing. It happened last year. We came away with the win against the Chiefs, but there were definitely some rust around these guys' belts, and they shook it off, and we were able to come away with the win. That's all that matters. As long as we get the W and we're still going to grow and we know that we have a lot more to offer, which this team does, then that's the upside here. We got the W, and we still are going to get so much better moving forward throughout this season. But let me go over, or you know what? I got just a few quick things to touch up on the defense. It's not going to be long, and then I will talk to you guys in the comments. But welcome to Victory Tuesday, everybody. Yes, if you're new here, we celebrate all week long. I've said it a few times already, but it's Victory Tuesday. Enjoy it. Enjoy the week. But all right, on the defensive side, I thought the defense played well. We did give up 20, but I like this defense a lot better than last year already. It looks a lot more promising. We're going to be getting some guys back. DJ Reader will be back against the Bucs this week. But before I get too far into the Bucs, let's talk about this game. Terrion Arnold had a few nice plays. He did give up. He had a few PIs, pass interferences, but I didn't agree with one. I thought that they were both fighting for the ball. The other guy gave a shove off, and then Terrion was kind of trying to reach back at him. So I don't agree with that one at all. They were both in the end zone. They both put him in nice field position afterwards, but he's a rookie. He's growing. But for the most part, he had a nice game. Cooper Kupp gave him his props, said that he's one of them ones, and that it was nice to compete against him. So when one of the top receivers tells you you're one of those ones as a rookie and has a lot of nice things to say about you and had a good time competing against you, then that's very promising when it's your very first game, especially against some top-tier receivers. So Terrion Arnold, I think, did nice for his rookie debut, and I think he's only going to get better from here. DBs overall didn't do too bad. I thought Brian Branch had a little bit of an off game. He missed a few key tackles to where they got some nice yards afterwards. But I think that's going to eat at him. He'll come back. He'll clean that up. We won't see hardly any of that coming off of Brian Branch moving forward. And the guys that he missed the tackles on are Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, both guys who get some crazy yak yards. So, I don't know. Game 1, BB will clean that up. He did have a few nice plays outside of that, though. A nice little diving bat away that I'm sure he thought that he could have got the pick on, but it was a great play no matter what. And then if we're going to stay on the DBs, Kirby Joseph with a huge clutch interception in the end zone to end their drive to come away with no points. He kind of looked like he was camouflaged back there with the back wall and the blues in the end zone. It was, no matter what, it was a great pick. And I love that it came off, that he got one off of Stafford, especially because of all the Rams fans who were talking all that crap about him being dirty. Stafford even said something. So, you know what? Go ahead and eat that. Go ahead and eat that pick, because Kirby Joseph came out and he let his play talk instead of his mouth run. And he said, take his name out your mouth from here on out. Rams fans, you hear that? That's right. Kirby ain't dirty. He goes out there. He's a ball hawk. He's a ball player. And if you're going to come at him, he's going to hit you hard too. So great job there, Kirby Joseph. Love to see it. All right, I thought, linebackers played decent. Alex Anzalone was all over the place. We already talked about that. But the D-line, I thought did well. A lot of people, there's mixed reviews on it. There's mixed reviews, and I don't know if we're coming over here. But I thought that Hutch played well. I thought that Davenport had a nice game. He was getting in there. I thought he should have had a sack. He let Stafford slip away. But, the D-line played pretty well. They were in Stafford's face all game, pressuring him. Hutch was constantly in Stafford's face. Finally got home and got a sack. And Levi Onwuzurike had a great coming out game. He was one of the top defensive interior defensive linemen throughout the whole entire league this week. So it's great to see Levi stepping it up. But Dan Campbell said it himself. If they had, now they were down 2 starting tackles, and a lot of people, that's where the argument's coming in. They're like, why did we only get 2 sacks? And why didn't we get to Stafford? When they had 2 tackles down, they were banged up. Jonah Jackson started at center. They kept switching center. D-line should have played better. I don't know about that. Stafford was getting the ball out in record time. I mean, he would touch it and shoo, that thing was out. Dan Campbell said it himself. It didn't matter if they had high school tackles in there. As fast as Stafford was getting it out, it was hard for anybody to get to him. So I don't expect that to continue to happen. Stafford's a vet. He knew what he had to do. He learned from his days in Detroit with no line at times, how to get rid of the ball quick, how to win with a crappy offensive line. And he almost got us. We went to overtime, but thankfully we got the win. But yeah, DC makes a point. It didn't matter who was in there at offensive line. Stafford was getting the ball away so quickly that we couldn't get to him the way that we will other quarterbacks the rest of the way. I think if the Bucs want to have success, which we'll talk about here soon, Baker's going to have to do something very similar, and I don't see it happening. I not all game. I think we're going to get to him much quicker. But yeah, don't get mad at the D-line for that. Stafford knew what he needed to do, and he did it, and we still came away with the victory. He still got to him. Hutch was in his face all day, and I think Hutch is going to have a massive year. He was beating the offensive tackle no matter which side he was on. I know there were backups, but anywhere he lined up, he was beating his guy all day long, and he was getting held and tripped. I know you saw it. Everybody was. But the defensive line is only going to get better because we got DJ Reader coming back this week, baby. Okay, it's time to get into the comments over here. And I'm going way back, so I apologize. I'm going to backtrack. I'm back and tracking because I want to make sure I get all these comments. Yes, I believe my nickname last year was Mustard because I'm trying to catch up or something. I don't know. But let's do this. MSU Detroit fan. There are definitely some big takeaways I have for this game. The big one is our failure to stop Kupp almost every snap. Cooper Kupp is a beast, man. What do you have, 14 catches? Yeah, that was a little concerning. I'm not going to lie. We did have young DBs out there. That's going to be something that they're going to need to sharpen up on for sure. But the Kupp and Stafford connection is real. I'm sure they drew up that scheme that they had in the Super Bowl when they won it. They're like, okay, we want to win this game. It's you and me. It's you and me, brother. That's it. Nakua's out. It's you and me. I don't know. They got some crazy connection. Kupp is one of the top route runners in the league. But yeah, we're going to face some top receivers this week too, so it'll be a challenge. Good point there. That is a little bit concerning. Rick, the almost was not on him. The ball was already in the air when St. Brown slipped. Great defense by Amon-Ra. Yeah, we're talking about that pick on Goff. Way to point that out. I believe I said that too. Great minds think alike. Yes, it's not on Goff. Not every pick is on the quarterback. It was a sloppy field out there. There was sloppy play by both teams. People were slipping around. So, yes, not all on Goff. Great point there, Rick. Great point. Donkey Kong, good to see you in here. Super Bowl or bust. 17-0. I'm I'm in it. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I don't know who can beat us out there. We did look a little vulnerable at points, but I think we're only going to get stronger. And I love this team. I love this team. We're resilient. Dan Campbell said it. He goes, it's hard to break us. As a matter of fact, I don't think you can anymore. Something along those lines. But he's saying people can't break us. They're going to try and break us, but you can't break us down. We're too strong. We're too strong, okay? MSU Detroit fan says Davenport looks promising. Anzalone is a beast. Arnold can use some work, but not bad for a rookie debut. Definitely could use DJ Reader. Yes, I agree on all those points. DJ Reader coming back is going to help in a massive way, though. You're going to see it. You're going to see it this week. Hutch and Davenport will get even more loose than they were already, and Aleem's going to cook as well. It's going to be great. I can't wait. But Arnold, he'll step it up. He'll step it up. Trust. He wants to be great, and he's going to put in that work. He does put in the work. He talks a lot, but he puts in the work. Rick, that was a big Lyle. Look at his face. Look at his body language. He'll never get over Jared Goff. He will have nightmares of that for the rest of his life. I think so. He always wanted to be the guy in Detroit. You left us, though, Stafford. From what I understand, they offered you to stay or leave. Or, they talked to him. Dan Campbell said, we would have loved to keep Stafford here, but he wanted to go. That was your choice, bud. You went to L.A. Yeah, you got your Super Bowl. But now deal with what's happening. We got a quarterback that we love. We got a quarterback that loves us. We got a team. We're Super Bowl bound, baby. We're much stronger than we have ever been. And, deal with it, Stafford. Rick said, stupid ad erased my comment before I finished it. I hate that crap. YouTube shaking my head. Yeah, I hate the ads on here, too. I'm live, but when I'm not, I don't pay for the no ads. Yeah, so I see him too. I'm with you, Rick. Rick says Gibbs isn't 100%. I didn't expect a lot from him week one. Good point. That is true. But he did say he was 98%, so I don't know. He still had a great game for not being 100%. MSU Detroit fan, Thunder, Monty, Lightning, Gibbs. Yes. I like the Thunder and Lightning. Last year they were calling them Rhythm and Bruise. Either way. They're a great tandem. They're a great duo. They're going to wreak havoc all over the league all year long. It's going to be great to watch. The biggest problem with our run game is Ben Johnson forgetting we have a run game. Yes, that is true. It was kind of the same thing that happened with the San Francisco game in the NFC Championship, right? We were ground and pounding them. We were doing our thing. In the first half, yes, Jameson Williams had some big-time plays, so the pass game was working too. But you got to stick to your formula. You got to stick to what is our bread and butter, and that's bullying other teams. Don't go away from it if it doesn't work for a few plays. 2 or 3 yards here and there. Still not bad. You still got to stick to the game plan, and that is winning in the trenches, bulldozing over other teams, making them tired, wearing them out. Then we do the play action, and it's over the top all day. So I agree there. Ben Johnson, come on, bud. You get a lot of praise. But you're right. That's a good point. We need to keep the run game going. Can't shy away from it. MSU Detroit fan. One thing I did notice is for the wide receivers, it seemed we were only using St. Brown and J-Mo. Didn't really see Raymond or Isaiah Williams that much. Yeah, Isaiah Williams was virtually invisible. You didn't see him out there at all, hardly. I mean, he might have been out there, but no targets. And Leaf, Jeremy Reisman pointed it out, and I said it earlier. He was open more than a few times, and Goff just decided to go a different way. There was a crossing route in particular that I saw the highlight of where it was J-Mo and Khalif Raymond going opposite ways. He decided to go with J-Mo, and there was a corner waiting in the flat for J-Mo when there was nobody on the left side. If he would have passed to Leaf, Leaf would have he would have got a first down for sure. And with his speed and his moves, I think he would have picked up a lot more. But, yeah, we're going to have to become a little bit more versatile. Hopefully this week maybe we'll see Tim Patrick or Allen Robinson or somebody step it up and play a bigger role in the game. But I think we're going to get Amon-Ra the ball more, even though we targeted him way more than we did Khalif Raymond or Isaiah Williams. Still, we're a little bit one-dimensional when it came to the pass game. We were pretty much J-Mo. And, Laporta got a few catches. Amon-Ra had a few. But, yeah, great point. We did not use Isaiah Williams at all or Khalif Raymond. I would have liked to see Isaiah Williams get a touch or two there. Like that end around that we did for J-Mo. That was great. It got us the first down, but J-Mo almost got hurt. Maybe give that to Isaiah Williams. I don't know, but they need to spread it around a little bit more in the coming weeks for sure. Rick, that doesn't surprise me from Goff. He's just that kind of guy. He is. And you're talking about giving him the game ball. He's a team player. Talking about J-Mo. You saw J-Mo's face when he did that too. It made his night. J-Mo was just smiling. He shook his head. You could see that it meant a lot to J-Mo. And it meant a lot to me as a fan, seeing Goff do that. I was like, such a good guy, stand-up guy. And J-Mo deserved that. It was a good moment. Good moment. Big day for J-Mo, says Grit, was the big goal this week. Other than that, the win, of course. Yeah. Breakout party for Jameson Williams. Now he's here. Put the league on notice. And that was kind of his deal. Everybody was shadowing Amon-Ra. They were expecting Amon-Ra because they didn't think we had anything outside of him. So it was Jameson Williams' game. Well, the Bucs might be looking at Jameson Williams like, we can't let him get one over the top. We gotta double him, put somebody over the top. Now it's gonna be Amon-Ra breaking out. So the emergence of Jameson Williams showing what he can do, and he could probably do even more. Yeah, defenses are gonna have a problem planning for us moving forward. Rick also says, just because a player appears open from our perspective doesn't mean he is from the QB's perspective. There's plenty of things we don't see on TV. That is also a good point. It is hard. They're moving a mile a minute out there. I just think, things will start to slow down again for Goff. He is a veteran. I expect him to find these guys here later in the season. And yes, tape is different. Maybe he saw somebody getting ready to sneak in and get an interception. I trust Goff. He's smart. I just thought that there were, when you look back, that there were a few for sure that he could have got to him. But good point. Good point. I'm not hating on Goff. I'm just saying there were a few times I thought that we could have gotten the ball to Lee for Amon-Ra, but at the same time, we made a completion somewhere else. So it wasn't the end of the world. It wasn't like he was just holding it there and he got sacked. There was a time, one of the sacks early on, first drive, he did have Jameson Williams, but that wasn't Goff's fault. Zeitler missed the stunt, allowed them to get free, get in the backfield, didn't allow Goff that extra 1 or 2 seconds to get the ball deep. So, like you said, not everything's on the quarterback. I'm just saying, I did see him open a few times. So, maybe he should look out for that next week a little bit more. Still, I see what you're saying. MSU Detroit fan, on Saturday, I watched the Michigan-Texas game, and they had an umpire cam, which I like since we saw what the head ref saw on field level. Yeah, it was cool. They should do that in the NFL. I like when lower levels or college football tries out things that the NFL doesn't necessarily have yet. That would be a really cool aspect to see. I'm with you. Rick, correctable mental mistakes, of course. Yeah, this was the first game, and that's what you love to see, that we came away with the victory, and they know what they're doing. They know what they can clean up. They're going to go and watch the tape, and they will clean this up. Dan Campbell was ecstatic. He could not, he could believe that we got the win, but he knew that we're not even close to where we're going to be with this team, and that's very promising. So, yes, a little beginning of the season stumbles here and there, but we're going to clean it up. A little bit sloppy, but we will clean this up. Hatter's House, good to see you in here. Sloppy, but not too bad overall. That's right, especially for a team who didn't get, their whole first team didn't see any reps in the preseason. So it's not the preseason, but this was their warm-up game, I guess, even though it was a prime time, big-time game against a big-time opponent. Still got the W, and we'll be looking better moving forward. Trust that. Rick, Stafford blamed that pick on the color of the end zone. Now, that's what I call accountability. Yeah, that's... I didn't see him say that. I didn't watch his whole presser, but if he actually said that, come on, man. I'm glad you're not the quarterback anymore if that's the case. Get out of here. I have been for years, trust me. But my goodness, Stafford, if he's really going to blame it on our uniforms, the end zone, and the back wall, you've been in this league long enough, Stafford. Come on, kid. Come on. Excuses. Rick, if Branch and Davis hold on to their INT opportunities, interception opportunities, what is the story this week? Very true. We win a lot bigger. Our D-backs look a lot better. Obviously, we want to clean that up. We want to come away with those next time. But those were good plays. Those are good plays regardless. But, yes, they would have been much better if we come away with a turnover. They don't get down. They don't score. It's the little things. It's a game of inches. We get those. We're dominating. We were dominating the whole first half. The second half, different story. We got to clean that up. But you're right. Could have been a completely different game if they hold on to their interceptions. Hatter's house, our pass rush wasn't as good as I hoped, especially against the backups. Yeah, but, I mean, I said this earlier. I don't know if you were here for it. Stafford was getting that ball out quick. I mean, he got it, and it was out of his hands. He was going first read. Chris Collinsworth talked about it a million times. It was the Stafford glorify show. They couldn't stop talking about him. They were trying to play the narrative of having him be the comeback kid in Detroit and win, and it didn't happen because we're too good. But, I mean, he was getting rid of that ball quicker than most quarterbacks will against us in this league. I think the pass rush will be just fine, especially with Reader coming back. So don't get too upset about the pass rush. Stafford was doing everything he could to eliminate it. He's used to it in Detroit when he was here, and he had, terrible offensive lines at times. That's how he had to play to win games. He knew what he had to do, and he did it. Almost got the W, but it wasn't enough, buddy. That's right. It wasn't enough. We're too good over here. We're too good in Detroit. But yeah, I wouldn't look too deep into it this week. If it continues to happen, yes. But I think that we're going to get to Baker. MSU Detroit fan, week 1, they have to defend against Cooper Kupp and then Mike Evans week 2. We're going to get to it here in a second. Cooper Kupp was trail fire for Sub-Zero. Just what he needed. Yeah. It's anybody. So that is another thing. Cooper Kupp was having his way for a little bit because he had a rookie cornerback on him. But, he still gave Terrion his props. To ask a rookie cornerback to shut down Cooper Kupp in their very first game, it's not going to happen. That is probably one of the toughest assignments you can put on a rookie cornerback. And then week 2, he's going to have to face Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Man, what a rough start, but no lack of confidence from Terrion Arnold. He's looking forward to it. He is a competitor. He's going to go out there and he's going to give it his all. So we do got to remember that Kupp is an elite wide receiver in the league. Yes, he was getting loose. Yes, he was catching a ton of passes, but he was going up the majority of time against a rookie corner who I still think did a decent job. So there's that. And I mean, he was going up against Amik Robertson. Kupp's a good wide receiver. He's top notch. So give the rookie a break. We'll be fine. MSU Detroit fan, the Rams run game definitely took a good bite at the Lions D-line, so definitely ready to see DJ Reader. I still think we held up nice against them compared to what Kyron Williams could have done to us. But, yeah, there were moments where they were just gashing us. But DJ Reader, going to make a difference. We'll see. We'll see this weekend. Come on, baby. Rick, by the end of this season, the number 9 will be J-Mo and only J-Mo. I'm with you. I love J-Mo. I think I'm going to get a J-Mo jersey. I'll give him one more week. I want to see what he does against the Bucks this week. And if he has another top game, it's take my card. Take my money. JMO jersey bought. All right, a few more comments, then I'm going to get back over. We're going to talk about the Bucks game. MSU Detroit fan, week 3 against Arizona definitely could be a trap game. They shocked Dallas and Philly last year, and that game is in between Tampa and Seattle, so got to watch out for that. I agree. Their offense is going to put up points. Kyler Murray showed that, he's still a good quarterback in this league. He just had an injury, and he had to rest up and come back. It is going to be a scary game. It could be a trap game. I hope that we're ready for that. DC and the boys, they usually do a good job of getting them prepared, but we saw last year there was some games where they just came out and were flat on their face. So, yeah, we'll see how this week goes first before we start talking about Arizona. But I agree with you. I do agree with you. That's a couple games in the future. We'll see how we handle this one. We'll talk Arizona next week. But I agree. That one's scary. Donkey Kong got to get through Tampa first. That's right. Donkey Kong. Woo! Super Bowl or bust, baby. Yes. Hatter's house. I'll be at the Arizona game. Nice. Love to see that. I know you ain't hating on Goff, Nick. I'd be surprised if you did. Yeah, I'm not a hater on Goff. Yeah, we talked about it. We're talking about missing the open receivers or not seeing them or whatever. Yeah, it's not all on him. I like Goff. Goff's the man. I love this team. I am not a hater of this team at all. There might be a few, but we're not getting into that yet or today because it's Victory Tuesday. That's right, baby. I'm on top of the world still, and you should be too. Celebrate all week. The Lions are 1-0. All right, Billy. What's up, man? Good to see you in here. What up, Billy? What up, though? Rick said a couple of dropped interceptions would have went for 6. Yeah, that's right. They would have been pick sixes. I mean, they were wide open field. Would have been a completely different game. If those aren't dropped, they'd be questioning Stafford's age and calling this an elite secondary. You're right. I mean, it's like we said, game of inches, and that's the difference here. So take what we can out of this. There was a lot of positives out of this game. Even though, we were rusty, there were a ton of positives that came away from this game, especially because I'll do the Dan Campbell. We're only going to get better, brother. We're only going to go up from here. It's only going to get better. All right? Lions Live Wire. Good to see you in here. Hey, Nick, did you just see we just signed Greg Joseph? I did not. That must be breaking news here. Yeah, kicker Greg Joseph. Wow. Okay, a kicker. Lions are signing veteran kicker Greg Joseph to their practice squad per agent. Yes, thank you for Lions Wire. Lions Live Wire. Thank you for the breaking news. I'm here in the chat with the fans. I don't have it over here, but I do right here now. What do we think of this? I thought Jake Bates did fine. He made all of his extra points. He made a clutch field goal there at the end. I did see a little shot of him on the sideline where he was looking stressed out like crazy. It had me concerned, but yeah, I mean, we do need a backup kicker. Maybe he'll be the short yardage kicker. We did talk about this last week, how it might be good to have a guy who can nail the extra points and the short yardage, and then we bring out Legatron, Jake Bates for them 50-plus yarders to 70-yarders. But, yeah, that's an interesting move. Thank you for the update there, Lions Live Wire. We could do a collab little cast here if you want any time. Let me know. Glad to see you in here, and thank you for the update. I love it. Rick, that's supposed to say trial by fire. Okay, I got you. Yeah. It's definitely a trial by fire for Terrion Arnold going up against Cooper Kupp. Yep, that's the best way to put it. Here you go, Rook. Good luck. You got an all-pro you're going up against. Yeah, he was hurt a lot of last year, but the year before and the years before, the guy was incredible and has showed out there again that he is going to be a top player in this league. But all right, that's an interesting move here that Lions Live Wire just informed me on with Brandon Joseph, or Greg Joseph. Sorry, I don't know why I said Brandon. We have another Joseph on the team. Greg Joseph, 7-year vet, was last with Green Bay and spent 3 prior seasons with the Minnesota Vikings. All right, let's get into it. Let's talk Bucks Lions. That's this week. while I'm here and I'm talking about it, let's get those score predictions, baby. Yes, you know what it is. We do the score predictions each week. We are hosting the Buccaneers in Detroit, which, by the way, I'm going to be at. I'm going to be at this game. I will be in Ford Field, but I'm going to be working for Fox. This is my first big boy job after graduating college. Coming to Detroit. Don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to be doing a lot of the little grunt work as a runner, but I'm going to be in the field. I'm going to be there. And I'm either going to be on the field, in the play-by-play broadcast booth, or in the trailer. So I'm going to get a little insight, a little background knowledge here, but it's going to be a great experience. They told me I'll be able to watch the game while I'm working. So that was only stipulation because I am diehard. I don't know how I'm going to contain my excitement. I'm going to stay as professional as possible, but when we score touchdowns, I'm going to give one of those little or something. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to be able to control myself. I'm probably going to go like, or do one of those, or a little, I don't know. It's going to be tough to control myself because I do get crazy during games, but it'll be a great experience. I can't wait to be in Ford Field for this game. I hope we get the victory, but let's talk about it. It's not going to be easy on our DBs once again. Facing a good receiving core. We talked about it earlier. Mike Williams, Chris Godwin, and Baker. Yeah, he's not a receiver. He's the quarterback. They were just playing the Commanders, but he put up 4 touchdowns through the air, 2 of them going to Mike Evans, 1 to Godwin, 1 elsewhere. But it's going to be tough on our DBs. They got another test. Great wide receivers. It looks like Mike Evans is not deteriorating at all. He hasn't slowed down. Got the 2 touchdowns. Getting contested catches. He looks like he's still the same Mike Evans. So will be a battle, but one upside is that we have Carlton Davis Jr., who did play with him the last few seasons, probably battled against him in practice. So maybe he knows how to go up against him. Maybe he can give us some insight on the offense. I don't know. It should help out a little bit, but it's going to be tough for those DBs. Now, what will help us is what we've been talking about, DJ Reader coming back. I don't see them being able to stop that defensive line. We were getting after Stafford. Yes, they had a hurt offensive line, but with Reader in there, if he's fully healthy, you're going to see how much of a difference this man makes. Him and Aleem and Levi, Levi was one of the top interior defensive linemen this week. I'll point that out again. So that's huge to have a little rotation between those 3. And, we have other ones too. Wingo made a few plays. Pecco. I think that, I don't know if he'll be there this week with Reader being there, but man, it's going to be great to see. They can all rotate, stay fresh throughout the game. It's going to allow Hutch and Davenport to really get after Baker Mayfield, and Baker holds onto the ball a lot more than Stafford does. Yeah, he is good at getting rid of it quick at times too, but there's going to be Baker Mayfield moments, and we're going to be able to take advantage of that. And I see the defensive line just being so much better this week than it was last week. So that's just what I think they're going to have to be to help out our DBs. It's going to be a test for them, but D-line should be much, much better with Reader in there. He is a difference maker. And I hope I'm not biting my tongue here next week. I hope he's the same DJ Reader that we get back. But one thing that I think is going to play in our favor is that they're missing a few key defensive backs on their end. Cornerback Bryce Hall and their top safety, Antoine Winfield, are both going to be out for us. So I think that this will allow Goff to cook. I think that the wide receivers will get open. J-Mo might have another huge day. The double moves, they're not going to be able to deal with it. Amon-Ra, expect him to get some touches. And I hope that they get Leaf and Isaiah Williams more involved. But this first and foremost needs to be set up by a run game. Tampa Bay, they're pretty nasty on the interior defensive line, or they were last year at least. But I think another big key factor this year is we need to keep Montgomery healthy. And Gibbs will be way better off this year. Last year when we played the Bucks, Gibbs was still getting his footing going, was still kind of trying to adjust to the speed, and Montgomery got hurt. He was already going. He was looking like he was going to have a great game. Fell on that football, injured his ribs, was out the rest of the game. We really struggled. Had to put the game on Goff's shoulders. He came through and he got the W. I think we can win that way again this year, but I think with a healthy Montgomery and a healthy Gibbs for a full game and that offensive line, I think we'll see a difference here this year. And if we can get that run game rolling, play action is going to be open for us all day long with their guys being out and having to play guys who aren't used to starting all the time. So should be a huge, huge advantage in our favor. But let's see those those score predictions. I don't see any score predictions. I'll give you mine. John Peterson says still at 52 on the roster. I think they're going to roll that way until, closer to game time. They'll put somebody on. We did sign a guy to the 53-man roster last week. I'm blanking on his name now. I should know this. And then we just waived him. But that's because Reeder's coming back. But I do expect us to kind of, Campbell said we're going to have some flexibility. We'll be moving guys up and down, signing guys for that 53-man roster spot all year long. Just bringing the right person for the right game is how I see them doing it. That's just the way they're rolling. That's just the way they're rolling. Rick says, I want to know why James Houston was a healthy scratch. Raises a few questions. Yeah, it does. Especially since they cut a few guys to keep him. We got rid of a guy from Canada, which Betts, who a lot of people were high on. He's back in the Canadian League. A lot of people wanted him over James Houston. So, yeah, I don't understand keeping him on the team and then having him as a healthy scratch. I don't understand. James Houston, he's been out either injured or now they're healthy scratching him. What the heck is going on? It does raise a few questions. So, yeah, it's a head scratcher. I don't know why we would keep a guy over other people who look like they earned a spot on the roster, and then you healthy scratch them. But is this going to be a bug situation? I hope not. I hope he gets out there and he contributes for us. I would like to see him get some snaps this week, see if maybe he can help out the pass rush a little bit more. But yeah, I hope this isn't an issue in the locker room. It seems like when they do their little, after practice games where they have the questions up there, he's always there and he looks happy. But who knows? Maybe he's butting heads with the coaches. I don't know. Maybe this just wasn't his game. They do like to put in different people, different teams, different scenarios, right guy for the right job. Still, does raise a little concern there. Like you said, Rick, for sure. Hatter's House, Lions by 1 million. That's right. That's right. Rick says that's awesome. Talking about me being on the sidelines potentially or working for Fox. Thank you. It is awesome. I'm stoked. I can't wait. I have another opportunity in October at the end of it that I might take. It's not up to me. I'm going to take it if they give it to me. But I'm going to be there for sure. I'm going to be working, so I got to be professional, but it's going to be tough. Either way, going to be in Ford Field, and I cannot wait, baby. I can't wait just to feel that atmosphere. If I miss some of the plays, I'll go back and I'll watch it immediately after the game. But, yeah, it's going to be insane. It's going to be insane. Rick, another huge test for the rookies. Yes, definitely a huge test for the rookies playing against a pretty good Tampa Bay offense. But, hey, trial by fire, like you said, right? Man, it's going to be a tough year for these guys. They're going to be going up against a lot of good receivers, but this will get them good. Iron sharpens iron, and they're definitely not backing down. They got confidence. Rakestraw, Terry and Arnold, they want it. They want all the beef. They want all of it. Okay? Give it to them. Because they ready, and they will be. This is only going to make them better. Hatter's House, James Houston better play. I agree. We kept him on the roster for a reason. Get after the quarterback. Put him out there. Put his butt out there. No more healthy scratches. This was all year last year with bugs. It turned out to be for a reason. But come on, guys. Don't keep these guys around when we could have kept other guys if you're going to healthy scratch them. I want to see him play too. Rick says don't have a score prediction. Just the Lions win. Branch has a big game this week, making up for last week's mistakes. I think so too. Branch, he did make a few nice plays, but he did miss a few tackles like I mentioned earlier, and I think it's eating at him. It's probably eating at him all week. He's one of them players, got a chip on his shoulder. He doesn't want to go out like that. He's going to come back, and I think he's going to wreak havoc. Big-time game. Pick 6 this week. Pick 6. He's going to pick. Pick 6. Game changer. I'm with you, Rick. Derwin Chambers, good to see you in here, man. What up? What up, though? Love the show. Keep going hard, bro. Go Lions. 3 sacks for Hutch Sunday. 37-24 Lions, what Derwin's saying. I'm saying Hutch is having a huge game, too. He had a huge game against the Rams. I mean, 11 pressures, which was tied for most in the league, with a sack. And he was getting held and tripped all game. He was out there setting the edge. Hutch is a beast. He's going to get his this year. And I don't see Baker getting rid of the ball as fast as Stafford was. Hutch is going to have a massive game. I think Davenport has a good game too. I'm calling 5 sacks for the defense. 3 from Hutch. We'll go with you, Derwin. 3 for Hutch. I'm going to say Davenport gets 1. And I'm going to say Aleem gets loose from Reader. He gets 1. You know what? We're going to go with 6 sacks. Because I'm going to say Anzalone or a DB is going to get 1 as well. Okay? Screw it. 8 sacks. 8 sacks. We were from 6 to 8. Let's go. Up the number. It's a sack party. What up, though, Derwin? Yes. Donkey Kong. Tampa's schedule. Super Bowl is this Sunday in Detroit at noon. They're coming to play for sure. Yes. They're going to bring it all. We beat them to keep them out of the NFC Championship game. We beat them last year in a close game during the regular season. They don't want to lose 3 in a row to Detroit. So, good point. Trust they will be bringing everything they got against us on Sunday, as all teams will. We are the hunted now. They know when they come to Detroit, you better be physical. You better get ready to get punched in the mouth, and you better try and punch back. Otherwise, you're going to get rolled over. So expect every team's best this year, which is going to be a test, but I think we're up for the challenge. We're a much better team. We were able to weather the storm this Sunday. We looked dominant in the first half. We just fell off and let them get back into it. Don't expect that to happen all year. Don't expect it to happen this Sunday. But do expect every team to give us their best, especially the Bucs this Sunday since they lost their last 2 meetings against Detroit. I think you're right. I think you're right, Donkey Kong. They're going to be bringing it for show. Derwin Chambers, he's a monster. Hutch is a monster. Derwin says, met him at my job. He looked like a transformer. Yeah. I'm interested to see because hopefully I'll be on the sidelines. Like I said, I'll be working this Sunday at Ford Field for Fox. I'll either be on the sidelines with the sideline reporter, just kind of, doing whatever they want me to do, getting them a water, a Red Bull, holding the cables for them, or I'll be in the booth. But I'm hope I'm on that sideline. I hope I'm next to DC. I hope I'm next to Hutch. I want to see him in real life. I'm a small guy. All right. I'm short. And, they're probably going to tower over me. The worst thing is they say that I can't take pictures inside the facility I'm credentialed to, but I'm going to sneak a few. I'm going to sneak a few for y'all. All right. I don't want to get fired though at the same time. So it probably won't be going up on socials. Got to stay professional, but I'll take some outside of the stadium for y'all. Yeah. Anyways, Rick Baker was one of the fastest at getting the ball out this week. He was. All right. Okay. I knew he's good at it. I don't see it being like Stafford. They're going to have to do it, though. Not every first read will be open, but they do have Godwin and Mike Evans. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. I still think Baker's going to Baker at certain times. He's going to want to make big plays. He's going to hold on to the ball a little bit too long, and we're going to get to him. But that is a good point. I didn't see his release time this week. I just assumed that Stafford was probably faster just because I watched it firsthand. I saw the eye test. But I guess if Baker was one of the fastest too, then that's going to be a problem. But I still think that we get to him more. We're going to wreak some havoc. I see it being a little bit better for us this week. But that is a good point. Way to check me there. I didn't know that. Thank you, Rick Grit. Derwin Chambers, I still can't believe how Stafford was evading those sacks. Yeah, he did too. There was a few where I thought that we definitely should have brought him down. Stafford's a tough guy, though. He doesn't want to go down. Baker doesn't want to go down either. He's one of those guys who it's kind of hard to bring him down, but Hutch will get to him. I trust this week. We're going to have more sacks. I trust the defensive line will be much better with DJ Reader there. I just think he's going to be that much of a game breaker on that defensive line. That Hutch and Davenport going to have a heyday. Just my opinion. Still can't believe it. Yeah, we just read that. Okay. LTSTRU3. Sorry, I read that wrong. Dang, bro, I thought this was the actual Lions Syndicate. Nah, this is his channel, though. This is definitely Derek's channel. I'm one of his employees. I'm over here on Syndicate Sports Detroit. So come over, watch it. He's got a few. He's got a few people. Derek's out there hustling. He's grinding. But I am the actual Nick Harkson, so get used to it. This is Touchdown Detroit Lions, baby, on Syndicate Sports Detroit, here every single Tuesday. Don't knock me off because I'm not Derek, man. I'd love to have you come in every week and shoot the breeze with me. No, I'm not Derek. He's been doing this for years, but I'm my own man, okay? I'm my own man. We got our own perspectives. I think the D-line will be good. He doesn't. He doesn't like it. It is what it is. Agree to disagree. That's still my friend. Derwin says, not going to lie, Bucks looked good in the first game. They did. They were going up against the Commanders, though. Commanders defense, no disrespect to them, but they're not on the Lions level, and that's saying kind of a lot. I think we'll do better. Still, we're going to need to bring it. Bucks offense, they got some weapons, no doubt. But their defense is banged up. This could be a shootout. This game could be a shootout. I'll give you my score prediction. I saw one over here, 37-24. I'm close to that. I got 34-24. But we're both in the 30s for the Lions. Both have the Bucks scoring 24 points. I think that's reasonable. It's a decent game for the Bucks, putting up some numbers, but we come out on top with more points. I think that's the way it's going to go. We're going to put up some big numbers. It's going to be a battle for a little bit, but in the end, we'll prevail because we're going to bully them. It's going to come down to bully ball and a few turnovers like it did last week. So I see it. 34-24. Lions win. Lions win. Get those score predictions in if you want them. If not, it's all good. It's all good. I know where the Hatter's house is gonna bring it. So I'm waiting for that one. Derwin also says we need to feature Demon more. Monty will get his touches. I think especially after this week. They're gonna work Gibbs and Montgomery 1-2 punch, but yeah, the guy's a beast. And they're gonna go with whoever's got the hot hand. Gibbs was having a nice game for a little bit, but I was shocked that Montgomery didn't get as many touches as he did in the second half, because he's one of those guys who could really put the game away for you. And ground and pound it the way that we like to do it. Wear down that defense. Make them hurt after every single run. Not saying that Gibbs can't do it, but we know that Monty's more of that bruiser, and Gibbs is more of that smooth type running back who's going to take it to the house, baby. But I agree. Montgomery deserves some more carries. Update on Bucks injury report. Yeah, so I just have their two DBs that are out for the main. They're their main guys who are out. So that will definitely help. Antoine Winfield, he's all pro. But Gibbs last year put a nice little move on him, made him look not all pro. And I expect our receivers to have a big day because of that, especially if we get the run game going. Play action is going to be there all day long. Rick said commies traded away their defense last season. Yeah, the Commanders, they don't have anybody left. So they got rid of Sweat. They got rid of everybody. I mean, Chase Young. Everybody wanted us to go get Sweat or Chase Young. We didn't. So that was another reason why I think the Bucs had so much success on Sunday. They still have a good offense. I'm not writing them off. Still got to come out and play hard. They got great wide receiver duo and not a bad running back. So it's going to be a challenge for the Lions defense, 100%. But I think this is going to come down to our offense being much better and taking the dub. I think we're going to bully them. It's going to come down to the trenches. DJ Reader back. Defensive line's going to dominate. Offensive line's going to dominate. Lions get the win. That's the way I see it. All right, it's been a long episode, longer one, but I'm going to go around the league a little bit more. Had his house, Lions by 1 million. Right? That's what we say, Lions by 1 million. But, yeah, Lions hopefully going to go 2-0, and we'll be back celebrating another Victory Tuesday. But around the league, around the NFC North, I'll go at least. Packers losing on Friday night. That's big. And they also lost Jordan Love. I don't think Malik Willis is going to be able to hold it up over there. I think they're going to struggle with them, and they're going to lose the majority of their games without Jordan Love, which will give us the upper hand on them. Never like to see, an opponent, especially a division rival, lose one of their key players. It does help us out, but you don't want to win that way. And, it's tough break for the Packers, but it's football. It happens. It's part of the game. So tough for them. They're 0-1. But then the Minnesota Vikings, man, they were playing the Giants, but they look good. Sam Darnold, I don't know why I said Aaron Donald. Sam Darnold looked pretty good. And they have a good offense outside of Darnold. They have good receivers. Addison did go out. He came down with an injury. But Jefferson, Jay Jettas, he's one of the top receivers in the league. If you have him on your team, just throw it up to him. That's all Darnold has to do. So they look a little scary because their defense is good. They were playing the Giants. Giants are kind of a dumpster fire right now. So not going to read too much into it, but they looked a lot better than I thought they would be. And then the Bears, they got so lucky. Yes, their defense and special teams came through for them, but they were playing against the Tennessee Titans. Will Levis just gave them a pick six. He gave away that game. That was a horrendous pass, what he did there when he gave the Bears the lead, just trying to toss it, trying to make a play. That was terrible. That was a terrible decision on his part. And I don't see the Bears winning if it weren't for the mental mistakes from the Tennessee Titans. Caleb Williams, not looking good, not looking like the quarterback that he thought he was going to be coming straight in to week 1. There's going to be some growing pains. So, I'm not trusted in the Bears. I don't think they're going to be what the Bears fans think they're going to be. Yes, that defense is good, but they are not. They are not what they thought they were going to be. So, With that said, I think we're taking the division just after week 1. It is very early, but that's my early prediction. I think we got this. I think we're going to be competing with Minnesota for the division. I mean, that's just the way it looks after week 1. That's how it all goes. I'm making way too many early assumptions. Next week, I could be saying, wow, look at Minnesota. They're terrible. But, yes, the Bears were given that game from Will Levis. And as Rick says right here, Danny Foodstamp does not belong in the NFL. Is what Rick says. And then he also says Will Levis was the best player on the Bears team. I agree. They're not coming away with that victory if it weren't for Levis. And the Giants are a dumpster fire. So we'll see more how it plays out. But I think it's the Lions division to lose, and I'm going to leave it on that. Buccaneers coming to town. Lions taking them on. I got the Lions winning 34-24. I will be at the game. I cannot wait. I'll be back here next Tuesday, though. But please come back. Thank you all for sticking around. This has been an hour and 10-minute show, so it's time for me to go. But as always, it's been great. I'll be back here next Tuesday, 5 p.m. Detroit time, 4 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. on the West Coast. Until next week, y'all, enjoy this victory. Peace.
Touchdown, Detroit Lions!